Welcome back to the show. Now, let's just start this segment off by saying that I am a connoisseur of soul food. As a proud Southerner, I was brought up on all the delectable treats that my granny and my mother made. Man, you know the dishes. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, collard greens, cornbread, right on, right on. But look, sometimes even the question creeps into my mind. Is there any way to make those soulful staples a little bit healthier? Well, here to help us out in that area is Chef to the Stars and owner of the Elegant Experience Catering Company and Indulgence, Chef Ashely Clay. Hey,
hi, how are you?
Come here, give me a hug. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
First off, I just want to say thank you for
You're
bringing
welcome.
this up in here. But, you know, the question always comes into mind. Soul food. What is soul food to people in your opinion?
Soul food is food from the soul. When you put your hands in the food and you're feeling the seasonings, and it's typically the culture, you know, if you're
Yes.
from the South, then it's the staples, like you said, of the South, and all of the ingredients that we are brought up on in the South. So a lot of cheese, a lot of, you know, the grits and
Yes.
the fried chicken,
love it.
but just the way we season food. And like if you're in, you know, Mexico, it's the seasonings
It's
that
the
you use,
seasonings.
but you could, I mean, there are only like 5 types of meat.
Right.
So it's just the change is how you prepare it for your culture. And when you put your soul into it, that's what makes it soul food to me.
See, and you know, and it's an interesting way of looking at it because you can have soul food up north, out west, wherever it is. And I love the way that you said that. I remember when we talked about that on the phone, it just really hit an accord with me. Now, we know how you make soul food in the old-fashioned ways.
Oh, yeah.
How can you make soul food healthier?
Well, you change the ingredients, but you
Okay.
still keep the soul.
Right.
Like
love
if a
that.
client wants something a little bit healthier, if they're on a regimen or they're on a diet, I just take the same way of thinking of the food, but just change the ingredients, or I read up on some healthier herbs or spices that they like.
Sure.
Or depending on where they're from, and I use those spices. But when I'm cooking it, I don't change the way I feel about the food. I'm never, you know, upset about them changing my recipes because I'm still aiming to please them. So I'm using the same love, the same soul in the food, and let's keep soul food.
Let me tell you, it is so, what you just said, I hear my grandmother saying those same things. It's not necessarily the food itself, it's the love and the feeling that goes into it.
Yep.
So let's get to this soul
Okay.
food meal right here. Now,
Okay.
this is like your basic traditional.
It's traditional. It's a Southern traditional meal.
Right.
From the soul. But what I've done is I've changed the ingredients to make it a little bit healthier, a lighter meal, so that when you eat it, because you know on Thanksgiving, you're always eating, and your second plate is the best plate after the nap.
Right, I was just getting ready to say the nap comes before the second
Right.
plate.
So
Right on,
this,
right
you
on.
might not take the nap first. You'll feel a little lighter.
Right.
But you'll still, you know what, I don't ever want a person to feel as though they've lost something in the food or that the food is not as satisfying. So this is still great food.
Okay.
Just a little healthier and a little better for you.
Let's
So
start
this
with
is
my
a cornbread.
staples, cornbread, right on.
It's cornbread.
I know I said that a bunch of times, but I'm just really into it.
Right,
Okay.
I know. I'm an ATL. I'm an ATLian, born
There
and
you
raised,
go, there
so
you
I
go.
get it. But this is a cornbread, and all I did was change the whole milk and the thick buttermilks and use a low-fat milk. I used the fresh corn to give it some bite so that we would have some flavor.
Right.
And I didn't use all of the heavy butters. I used an olive oil to base and use a brown caged egg opposed to, you know, the eggs that we typically
Sure.
use. So that just changed the recipe a little bit, and you still have great cornbread. Yeah,
And you
go
still,
ahead.
I
see I made the little
she made
samples
these
for
little
you.
ones just for me.
Still
Oh.
light, fluffy.
It's still light and fluffy, and it still has that flavor that I love. Let's look at the chicken now.
Okay, so what I did was I did a traditional baked chicken so that we could see you could use the same recipe, the same cooking method that you do when you use a baked chicken for the oven fried chicken. It's not more work, and you know a lot of times people think cooking healthy means more work, more expensive. This is not expensive. This is the same, you know, price range when you cook a more fattening chicken. So what we did was we baked this in a cornflake.
Right, that looks delicious.
So you still feel like you got the
gotta have the
fried
crunch.
chicken because you
I
see
gotta
the
have the
crunch,
crunch.
you see the color.
Right.
It still looks like it came out of the grease, but it didn't. I baked it in the oven for about 30 minutes. It's still a very tender, you know, cut, and it's just really, really good.
And she's gonna give me a little bit of this cut right here. And then the baked chicken that you've got going on right there, what's that about?
Well, that's a really nice rosemary, thyme, and oregano baked chicken. I baked it for about 25 minutes. You know, you cook your chicken according to the thickness, and it has a nice au jus sauce. That's the original.
Right.
Juices from the chicken.
Okay.
And it's just really, you know, I don't like when people feel like breast is just going to be dry. It's not dry.
Let's go ahead and move on to that mac and cheese
Okay.
right now. Right. Very good.
And this is now, okay, so this is the thing, right? The mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
This is the easiest thing to substitute because it's cheese, it's milk, it's butter. And those items are so easily less, you know, you can find those items in the store with less fat on the next to the, you know, whole milk.
That's
they
what it
have the
is.
skim milk. So it's very easy to substitute the macaroni
Can I have
and
a taste
cheese.
of that?
Oh yeah, taste it.
Hold on a minute.
I also have a butternut squash to add some of the flavor for you. So there's a butternut squash. Yeah, go ahead one more time.
No, I don't want. I'm fine.
This
I'm
is
gonna get
yours
some
when
later
we're done.
too.
Yeah.
Let's move on to those greens.
Now this is something you don't really have to do a lot to make it healthier. Just change your meat. This has a smoked turkey, which has a lot of flavor. I cooked it in a low-fat chicken broth, and I didn't add any salt. This has some natural vegetable blend seasoning, so it's flavorful, but it's not, you know, salted heavily, and it's not cooked in all of the pork meat.
We got about a half a minute left. I'm gonna get one of these eggs, but while I do that, we're gonna put these recipes on our website, so folks, you can get these things, enjoy them. Look at this right here. All right. How about this cheesecake?
Oh, this is the red velvet cheesecake. I don't know how to say take a lot of fat out of it. I just changed a few ingredients. I think at the end of the day, you need just a little love in your life, and this just is the love that you need
This is
when
the
you're
love
done.
right there. Well, let me tell you what, I got some love right here in my hand. Hey, listen, Chef Ashely, thank you so much
You're very
for
welcome.
enlightening us on how, I mean, there's no taste difference in this than the other things
And
that
this
we've got out
has
there.
an olive oil mayo, an Italian dressing, and and mustard. So it's not a lot of egg yolk and the heavy mayo.
Thank you so much for being here
You're
with
very
us.
welcome.
We appreciate it. Great food right here, folks. You can eat healthy, good soul food. We'll be back in just a minute on Peachtree TV. This is JJ on Atlanta.